What's up, New Jersey? Welcome back to another episode of the NJ1ST podcast. My name is Ryan McDonald. Make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel, also over on Rumble, the free speech platform. Today, we're going to be talking about the elections in New Jersey that just happened, but more on the fundraising and contribution side. We're going to go into national RNC Republican politics, and at the end, if you want to stick around for foreign relations, international relations regarding Israel, and we'll get into it. NJGOP Chairman Bob Hugans contributed $400,000 just 1 month before the election this year. Where did these funds go? Were they squandered? Were they misallocated, wasted? Follow NJ1ST for all 2024 and 2025 New Jersey political content. But before we deep dive into New Jersey, let's look at the national politics. And I quote retweeted Scott Pressler right here. Did you know that the Virginia GOP chairman, Rich Anderson, requested money from the RNC? But the RNC denied, said no. So let's look at that first. Charlie Kirk tweets out evidence of Ronna McDaniels claiming that Glenn Youngkin, the governor of Virginia, actually told her that the RNC wasn't needed. So she's pushing the blame over to Governor Youngkin, but it was told by the Virginia GOP chair, Rich Anderson. He requested money and they denied him. So she's being disingenuous right here. Let's listen to her real quick.
I just want to clarify one quick thing, though. The RNC had no involvement in these elections in Virginia per Governor Youngkin's request.
We were told in the summer they didn't need us, that they had all the money and they were good. So that was the conversation.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
We'll be following up on that. Find out what's that all about. That's the first time I've heard that.
So it seems like she's lying because the chairman of the Virginia GOP said that he requested money and he was denied. And how great was it to see Vivek Ramaswamy completely destroy the GOP apparatus, the boomers, the Beltway conservatives, the country club Republicans, neocons, all of them. Just listen.
At the end of the day, it was a cancer in the Republican establishment. Let's speak the truth. Since Ronna McDaniel took over as chairwoman of the RNC in 2017, we have lost 2018, 2020, 2022, no red wave that never came. We got trounced last night in 2023. And I think that we have to have accountability in our party. For that matter, Ron, if you want to come on stage tonight, you want to look the GOP voters in the eye and tell them you resign, I will yield my time to you. And frankly, look, the people there are cheering for losing in the Republican Party. Think about who's moderating this debate. This should be Tucker Carlson, Joe Rogan, and Elon Musk. We'd have 10 times the viewership, asking questions that GOP primary voters actually care about and bringing more people into our party.
Now, whatever you think of Vivek Ramaswamy, you have to admit that he's correct. Romney McDaniels has not been doing a great job as the RNC chairwoman, let's just say that. And it's day 209 of Scott Pressler asking for the chairwoman to contact him. He's been the most active and the most volunteer, humbling activist that the GOP has, to be honest, and he doesn't get paid. So let's bring this back to New Jersey, okay? October 6th, 2023, $400,000 from Bob Hugans, the chairman, was entered pretty darn late in the election race. I wonder who got this money. I don't do this research of looking up the money, contributions, all of that. I do the research of looking up the votes and also the inner party politics, the local grassroots politics, but in my DMs, I'm getting dumped on with these screenshots of checks and contributions, so let's try and make some sense of this. Even the dude's wife is given $50,000, and this was literally a couple days before the election. I wonder how that $50,000 was spent, how useful it was, how useful it could have been with spanned out over a longer period of time. I know I could have made use of $50,000. I could have made use of $10,000 a lot better than they did. But I am getting some receipts of contributions and where those fundraised money goes. The amount dispersed, here you can see the thousands of dollars to Checkmate Strategies, and I definitely know who that is. That is Chris Russell, or at least I was newly introduced to who Chris Russell is in the last 3 years for New Jersey state politics. And again, 10/27/2023, very late in the election season. This is not good campaigning, if you ask me. direct mail printing and postage, mailer printing opposing Gopal for Senate. So these are the exact mailers that linked Bill Spadea with Vin Gopal in South Jersey. There was an effort by Republicans to link Bill Spadea with Democrat Vin Gopal in South Jersey. Now, are they linked as much as, I guess, John Bramnick and the Democrats are linked, as much as Brian Bergen and the Democrats are linked, as much as Marilyn Papirno and Kim Muellner are linked with the Democrats, and they were the ones in LD11 that just got, voted out. That was on that slate with Steve Dinistrian against Vin Gopal. So it's interesting, the Republican politics, inner party politics, trying to pin one against the other by, aligning Bill Spadea with the Democrats, saying that Vin Gopal is too conservative. This was their attempt to win LD11, which lost very bad. All this money spent that could have been spent across the state a lot better. Here's earlier, September. Now, I don't think that these were the Vin Gopal and Bill Spadea linked mailers. I'm not sure. Maybe they were that early in September of 2023. But still, all this money for mailers. Dude, I'm telling you, this is badly spent money for campaigning. I was able to catch Billy Prempe's Revive America live stream that he does every Thursday night on Rumble. Make sure to join us over there. But I wanted to know if Bob Hugan ever donated his large sum, his treasure chest, any of it, to Billy over in Patterson, taking on Bill Pascrell Jr. in New Jersey's 9th Congressional District. He's going to try again in 2024. So Joe Vizo, a New Jersey State Assembly candidate this 2023, came on, and I was aware that he was donated $10,000 from Bob Hugan. I wanted to know if that helped at all, if Bob Hugan actually helped him. So let's listen to this.
You gotta. So, hey Joe, somebody's got a question for you in the comments. Ryan McDonald, he said, ask Joe about Bob Hugan. Did he help? Heard he got money. Only $10K though.
Yes, Bob. I did get him, I spoke to him at the Doors meeting, which was about a week and a half before the election. And yes, he did donate $10,000. It was, thank God he did. I'm grateful that he did. I just wish it was done much earlier. It was a little bit too late. It's not enough. We need to be putting more money into our district if we're going to have a chance. But yes, he did help. So
excellent.
I'm grateful for that.
So Ryan,
yes.
Ryan followed up and said, how can we get Billy some of that Bob Hugan money? Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, Bob Hugan's not giving me a dime, bro. Earlier in this episode, I was like, yo, Bob Hugan,
I
you
love
lost
Ryan. Ryan's a good guy.
Earlier I was like, Bob Hugan, you lost to a
He's
pedophile,
right.
Bro. It's true, though. You know what I mean? It's like, that's the elephant in the room nobody wants to talk about. Like, yo, Bob Hugan, you lost to a pedophile. I don't understand how you dropped the ball that bad. And I see what's happening in the state. It's like, great, I understand you're donating, and that's great and all, but there's no strategy here, man. Like,
yeah.
Look. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I don't mean to kind of like rip off on Bob right now, but it's like I don't think Bob liked me from day one anyway, so that's why I kind of don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Because like every time I've tried to talk to Bob will try and walk away, try and dodge me. So I'm like, I think Bob doesn't like me anyway, so that's fine.
Yeah. Well, look, our whole district, right? We're like we're the black sheep of the family, right? The Democrats have been winning here for 22 years, and they feel like it's just a waste of time. So, like, believe me, I don't think he really wanted to give me that money. I felt like they were trying to run the clock out, and I just happened to catch him at the right time, and he helped us out. So hopefully we can get him to get on board with you early on, because that's what it's going to take. Is the GOP, and they have the money. It's not like the GOP is broke. The NJGOP has money. And they need to pour it into our like if they want to win anywhere, right? Like we're the wall up against Hudson County and all of these other major Democrat areas. And we're a major, unfortunately, we're a deep blue area. We showed really great in 21, and then this year it was tough. So, but with that said, they didn't get behind us early on with funding. Funding was horrific. We had $35,000 up against millions, and they spent it this time.
Listen, man.
For sure.
I told you that these guys were not going to go down without swinging, especially not this go around on a low turnout election. They're like, no, we got to pull out the big guns.
Fortunately enough, we have Chris Russell to speak for himself, what he thinks just 2 weeks ago prior to the election. This is on Fernando Uribe's Real Talk live stream, and let's listen.
It seems like NJ 101.5 FM radio host Bill Speedia has been very vocal in his criticism about the way Republicans are campaigning. We see that obviously he's going around the state, helping certain candidates campaign. It seems like there's still some friction within the NJGOP between, for example, again, the hierarchy, maybe Bill Speedia, maybe other Republicans. Is this something that's reparable going into 2024 and 2025 where, listen, I hope Republicans can flip some seats in 2 weeks. Having said that, you want that momentum into 2025. Right. Jack hasn't announced formally yet. It seems like he's going to at some point. He'll be the inevitable candidate. It seems maybe like Bill Speedia might be too. Is there a concern for you as a strategist that this sort of friction, again, will contribute to the tribalism that exists in the GOP in New Jersey?
No, listen, like I said, there'll be a primary, just like there's a primary for the presidency, the presidential nomination. There'll be a primary, I'm sure, for governor in 25, and that's fine. I don't have any issues with primaries per se. The issue, and I'll be very blunt, the issue with Bill Speedia was in 2021, he was on the radio telling people don't vote for Chitterelli. This is a guy who's supposed to be a Republican. He's supposed to be a conservative, and he was actively using his bully pulpit to help reelect Phil Murphy. I do have a problem with that. And I think in terms of his potential.
What was the reason, Chris?
You'd have to ask him. In that sense, you'd have to ask him.
I'm pretty sure the reason Bill Speedia said that in 2021 was that he claimed that if Jack Chitterelli actually won the governorship in 2021, that it would be just 2 steps backwards and 1 step forward for the conservative movement. It was going the opposite direction. And he has merit to that. Jack Chitterelli and the NJGOP is not with the America First, not with the people. They're with the Uni Party. They're with the establishment, with the institutions, the foreign lobby interests, all of that. And that's where Bill Speedia is, trying to make the wedge in the conservative movement of New Jersey, or the Republican movement in New Jersey. And that's what Chris Russell doesn't like. That's why he put all that money with Vin Gopal tied with Bill Speedia. I think he's anticipating for the 2025 campaign. So he used his money in 2023 to try and make the clear drawn line in the sand, rather, for 2025 primary.
Because it just seems like right now there are pockets of the state that aren't happy, let's say, with Bob Hugan or Alex Wilkes, right? At the hierarchy of the NJGOP. What words of comfort can you give conservatives, Republicans, independents 2 weeks from today about, hey, listen, they're doing their best. They're trying their best. They're trying to get money from D.C. They're trying to be judicious in what districts to support and everything else. What words of comfort can you give people that maybe are still on the fence and aren't sure whether or not the NJGOP is all in 2 weeks from tomorrow?
Well, listen, I can't convince people to believe something that they don't want to believe. So, in that sense, if people have to understand it and dig into it a little bit themselves, we as Republicans, if we unite behind these issues and unite behind these candidates, we can be successful. And if we win, then we get to govern. I think the issue is, sometimes and this is in every business, right? There's armchair quarterbacks, there's, whatever. I would just tell everybody, get in the game, replace the talk with action.
And if you ask someone like myself, Ryan McDonald of the NJ First podcast, I've been doing NJ First for the past 6-7 years. I went to University of Rutgers for political science, graduated 2015, 2012 to 2015. Never once have these Republicans reached out to me. It's only the grassroots patriots. It's only those conservatives who vote Republican. Never have the NJGOP or Republicans ever reached out to me. Even in my own Warren County, I've traveled the whole entire state. I've emailed people. I've called, talked with them on the phone. And I just don't believe NJGOP. I don't believe the Republicans, and you shouldn't either. You should not fall for this shit. He's doing fine. He's getting plenty of money.
Chris, real quick here. I know up here in Hudson County where I live, it's as blue as Windex. I know that the county chair up here in Hudson County got a little vitriol online. It seems like one of the state Senate candidates up here where I live in LD 33 doesn't have a Republican challenger. The only challenger on the ballot is the candidate from the Socialist Workers Party. And it seems like, Hudson County Republican Chair Jose Arango got a little vitriol online for supporting a Democrat. Is that more a reflection about, hey, that shouldn't be happening? Or let's be fair, because, a lot of people call me a stack boy and a stack defender, but he's one of those guys that, let's be fair, he's very accessible.
I'm just going to pause it right there. Fernando Uribe asked this question because, well, I asked him to, frankly. And it was because I thought he would actually ask it in a different way. This is the chair of chairs, Hudson County Republican chairman. And you don't think it's like an issue that he's endorsing a Democrat at all? How about in 2019 when he pulled his own endorsement of Republican sheriff candidate in Hudson County, Fernando Uribe, your own county? He pulled that Republican sheriff candidate and endorsed the Democrat. 2021, the Board of Education, same thing, endorsed the Democrats as the Republican Hudson County chairman. And then now in 2023, doesn't run a single candidate, doesn't even try, and endorses the Democrat. And what does Fernando Uribe say? The Democrat's pretty good after we just went through the whole COVID thing and all the election integrity that happens, the vote by mail. Yeah, pretty good. Yeah. I myself spoke with young Republicans from Hudson County, and they applaud this. This was a part of their whole strategy. Endorse the Democrats so they win local races on the Republican level, or at least hopefully. And they are completely transparent of how much they support Democrats. Republicans, if you're giving your money to Republicans, it's a good chance, 50-50. Even if you're in Monmouth County, it's going to Democrats. Thank you for watching this episode of the NJ1ST podcast. I was going to go into international relations in Israel, but I'll just make another video of that and keep this with the NJ election, fundraising, distributed campaign contributions. Remember to also follow the NJ1ST.substack.com. I have October events, November events, and I'll be starting a December events Substack going out. Today, actually, if you subscribe to this, you would have been able to meet Dan Bongino in Northvale, New Jersey. So cool information like that, all retrospective to New Jersey. Make sure you subscribe and follow NJ1ST everywhere, NJ1ST.com. Follow at Ryan McDonald USA on X, formerly known as Twitter. Thanks for watching, guys.